video, we're going to be making some pork belly burnt ends, or pork candy, or pig candy, or hog candy, or whatever you like to call it. Basically, this is going to be a slab of the pork belly. I got mine at Costco, but you can get yours anywhere, of course. And my slab of pork belly basically looks like a giant slab of uncut bacon. So I cut it into cubes. It's kind of funny to me that a lot of people talk about this and then they show it and they always say cut it in 1 inch cubes, and then they're clearly cutting it in 2 and 3 inch cubes. So I don't know if people need a tape measure or what, but anyways, I went with 2 and 3 inch cubes, as you can see here. I did in a little experiment where I did sweet on one side and savory on the other. Sweet is the right side, savory is the left, so a sugar base versus a salt based rub. It came out really good. I ended up liking the sweet one better. My wife ended up liking the savory. And you're going to liberally apply the rub to all sides of the cubes. I used these racks inside the smoker just because it made it a lot easier than moving individual pieces of meat. Initial smoke is going to take about 2 hours. This is after about an hour in. We're just checking on them here and everything looks good. Coming right along. I will note that the sugar-based rub actually tends to burn a lot faster and prematurely char, so you do have to keep an eye on that. The salt one tended to be a lot less volatile in the cooking process and didn't want to char up on me as bad. I will note that you're going to want these probe tender, so this is not a situation where you're cooking to a time or even necessarily an internal temp. You're looking for that feel of probe tender. And by probe tender, we mean that when you take your meat thermometer and you stick it into one of these pieces of pork belly, it should just glide right in as if you're stabbing it into a jar of peanut butter or a tub of margarine or something along those lines. There should be very, very little resistance. It should just glide right in, telling you that all that fat has been beautifully rendered and that this is going to be super tender and juicy. Then we're going to go ahead and pull them out after our initial smoke. It's going to be an hour and a half to 2 hours for the initial smoke, but your mileage may vary. Then we're going to lightly toss them in some sauce. I took some Kinder Organic sweet barbecue sauce, added some honey and some blackberry jelly that was seedless to give it really that sweet candy type flavor. It was 2 parts barbecue sauce, 1 part honey, and maybe half a part blackberry jam, seedless. Go ahead and get that in there and then put that back in for another 45 minutes to an hour. Let that sauce really tack up and get that candy caramelization, and then pull it back out. Real slight rest, and then you're done. Nice thing about this is you can go ahead and put some toothpicks in these guys and just bring it right to the party, and people will gobble them right up for sure. Of course, you can also put these out as a little appetizer. They are extremely rich, so in the same way that you just can't go full ham, no pun intended, on a giant rich fudgy brownie, that's kind of the same thing with these. They are super rich, super decadent. They taste great, and they are an awesome appetizer or something to bring to the game or the party or what have you, and definitely will be well received. So happy cooking.